So we're going to cover 3 different things in this video. Number 1, we're going to talk about titanium hardware and why people use it. Number 2, I'm going to tell you about a promo code that you can use to get 10% off some EVO parts. And number 3, I'm going to talk about how I can possibly help you find any bolt or hardware item you might need for your EVO 8 or 9. But as you can see, it's pretty cold out here, so the rest of this video is going to be a voiceover. So I recently bought a titanium valve cover hardware kit for my EVO from innovation-usa.net, and they have graciously offered to provide my viewers a discount code on all their products. So use the promo code BOOSTED for 10% off your entire order, and also any orders over $150 will get you free shipping to the continental United States. I'll touch more on this again later in the video. So even if you're not interested in titanium items for your EVO, I've started a spreadsheet that you might find helpful if you need to know specs of a certain bolt for your EVO or where to buy certain hardware. It's currently a work in progress, but I have a link to the spreadsheet in the video description down below if you want to check it out. I'll talk a little more about this later in the video and possibly even create an entire video on this in the future if it ever gets done. So back to the titanium bits. Why do people buy titanium hardware? Well, there are 4 main reasons. Number 1, it's strong. Number 2, it's lightweight. Number 3, it's basically rust-proof. And number 4, it's very pretty. Titanium hardware is typically 45% lighter than its steel counterparts. But the weight savings is honestly pretty minimal unless you're already at a point where you've really stripped down your car pretty far. But either way, it is still nice that something that is stronger can still be even more lightweight. But one of the best reasons I see to go to titanium is the corrosion resistance. Now, of course, valve cover bolts don't typically have rust issues, but as most of my viewers know, I'm dealing with a decent number of broken, rusty bolts on this new Project EVO. And I think titanium hardware on the exhaust, or like titanium nuts that hold down the fuel pump hanger, would be a great idea to help prevent broken bolts and broken studs. So now let's take a closer look at the valve cover hardware kit I got from Innovation USA. So these titanium bolts are flange bolts, so you no longer need that extra washer that would come with the OEM bolt. And this kit would work on all EVO 4 to 9 valve covers, and you can choose 4 different finishes. I won't be creating a how-to video on this since it's really pretty easy, and again, it's super cold out right now in my unheated garage. But just one tip is to be sure you don't over-tighten them. Torque specs for these valve cover bolts are really only about 31 inch-pounds, so really you're not going to want to tighten them down too much. Again, if you're interested in some titanium bits like these, visit innovation-usa.net. I have a link in the video description down below, and don't forget, use the promo code BOOSTED for 10% off your entire order. Now back to my EVO 8 and 9 hardware spreadsheet that I'm building. I've honestly already spent way too much time working on this thing, and it's not even really that far along yet. But the reason I'm already talking about it is, well, one, it kind of fit into this video topic, and also I just want to make sure something like this doesn't already exist. For the most part, I'm planning to list every bolt, nut, and stud that would be used to build a US market EVO 8 and 9. I'm also planning to add where you can buy these items, what the torque specs are, and what the actual bolt dimensions are. I think this is something that could be super helpful for someone that was building an EVO roller and missing a lot of bolts, but also helpful to a person who's just working on a smaller project on their EVO and needs to know torque specs or maybe just a specific bolt length. So my question for you is, have you ever seen anything like this before? Should I keep putting work into it? Would you find it helpful? Does it already exist somewhere? I mean, I know the service manuals exist and they have the torque specs and stuff, and honestly that's where I'm going to pull those specs from, but it doesn't actually give you the specs of the bolts as far as I know, and of course it doesn't really have the link of where to buy them. And hopefully I'm going to lay this spreadsheet out in a different way so it's a bit simpler to find these items in an easier way. So that's my idea. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comment section down below. And that's about it for this video, guys. As always, this is Paul from Boosted Films saying thanks so much for watching.